I would argue that a college degree, whether you're going to burn through 1 year or 2 years or 4 years doing it, has tremendous value. But pick a discipline where you can actually make money. That there's productivity available in not just Bitcoin. Bitcoin is one software, but also Ethereum as a transactional platform, and Polygon, and HBAR, and Helium. We will continue to see advancement here. It is not going away. In other words, the genie is out of the bottle, and you're just going to have to stomach the volatility, but it has huge upside. There's too much value in these platforms. Let's look at it.
Welcome to Dream Richer. A question many entrepreneurs raise in this day and era is whether or not you really need a college degree to be successful. With business models and investments, such as crypto at the tip of our fingertip, it's easier than ever to make a decent living, if not millions. Fortunately for many, this means that you don't have to be born with a golden spoon in your hand either. Ambition, drive, determination, and specialized knowledge can help get you there. Today, a well-known entrepreneur and Shark Tank judge, Kevin O'Leary, unravels this controversial question. In his words, your college degree is only useful if you pick a discipline that generates large positive cash flow. According to Indeed job search website, the top 5 college majors with highest starting salaries include: Number 1, business, with a median base salary of $47,850 per year. Number 2, economics, biomedical engineering, and accounting, with a base salary of $52,000 per year. College major 3, mathematics and statistics, at $60K per year. Number 4, nursing. And finally, number 5, computer science, with a base salary of $70,000 per year. By the end of this video, Mr. Wonderful shows the exact money-making blueprint that he is looking forward to this year. If you find the video helpful, then don't forget to subscribe. Let's get right into it.
The thing about a college degree, it's not what you learn there in your classes that ends up being valuable to you. It's the people you meet. Because in your career, you're going to run into these people your whole life, and they're going to go and disperse into different disciplines and different companies and banking and whatever else it is. And you will draw on them as a resource as they will on you in your career because you know each other. You can't make new old friends. That's not possible to do. So what I found in my own life is, my MBA, for example, I spent 2 years getting, master's of business degree. I don't remember a single thing in those classes. I have no idea what they taught me there, but the people that I met there are now some of my most important business contacts and bankers and associates all around the world because they've scattered, from Shanghai to Hong Kong to Phnom Penh, Cambodia, to Zurich, Switzerland, and I do business everywhere. And they're my contacts there. And some of them have gone into politics, very powerful allies in the US Senate. It's all about those relationships. And so I would argue that a college degree, whether you're going to burn through 1 year or 2 years or 4 years doing it, has tremendous value. But pick a discipline where you can actually make money. Unless you're already successful financially, you're going to have to pay back $80,000 to $100,000 or 80 to 100,000 Swiss francs or wherever it is you're going. In 2017, I bought my first positions in Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I'm invested in many financial services companies that are regulated by the regulator in multiple jurisdictions. So I have to report on a quarterly basis, sometimes a monthly basis. I have internal compliance officers and external auditors, and I also have to file with regulators in the geographies where we do transactions and we own exchanges, and obviously when you have that responsibility, and particularly when many of these companies are publicly traded, you simply can't go offside with the regulator. That's not an option. And in 2017, the regulatory environment against crypto was toxic. They were very concerned that the tokenization of assets that were trading not under regulated prospectus, particularly in the New York area, that people were trying to bring debt deals for real estate with tokens, and it was chaos. And my own compliance department said, look, we are getting signals from our lawyers that you simply can't get involved here because these are unregulated securities and breaching securities laws. That's 2017. Fast forward a few years, And all of a sudden, we start to see regulators around the world, in Switzerland, in Australia, New Zealand, in Canada, in England, not the US yet, starting to open up to the idea that there's productivity available in not just, Bitcoin. Bitcoin is one software, but also Ethereum as a transactional platform, and Polygon, and HBAR, and Helium, Avalanche, and all of these other software projects.
But here I was kind of looking at the psychology of the whole market, not just NFT, but crypto overall. It's run by a lot of greed, and people, it's like a mentality of get rich tomorrow, or right now, right? So do you think that's going to affect the future in any way? Or that's actually the reason it will go to the moon?
There's a great analogy, because you're absolutely right. It is driven by a lot of greed and a lot of theft and a lot of instability right now. But if you went back to the gold rush, it was driven by greed. It was driven by people that were willing to take huge risks to go and explore and find gold and become wealthy. And the people that actually got wealthy provided the infrastructure to them that eventually provided all the equipment they needed to build gold mines. I'm in the camp that you need to be in both. I want to invest in NFTs, and I do, but I also want to invest in all digital infrastructure, which is why I'm so interested in the exchange licenses that are being granted all around the world. I'm very interested in investing in those wherever they pop up, because they're not coming to the US anytime soon. They're starting in other jurisdictions like Canada, like the UAE, and other countries. And so you have to be a bit of an explorer to understand that we're the early phase. And greed does drive a lot of motivation, but so does theft. And most people are not willing to admit it. I am. I've had a wallet that has been hacked. I've lost assets. I've lost NFTs. And I've learned my lesson about security. And I have a different protocol now. And it's very hard to steal my assets now, but I've had to learn that. We've got to make it easier.
There are few college degrees that pave the way to six figures. It can happen, but you can also earn a six-figure income without ever going to college. Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg are just some of the top examples of this. Experts argue this change over time in the value of a college degree has come about due to more technology, changing environment, and geopolitical factors. For example, in 1960 and 1965, the percentage of Americans with a college degree or more education was under 10%. Since attending college was rare back then, that made it seem as though college was somehow more respected or more rigorous than it is now. Hence, the citizens who had a college education back then were definitely considered the chosen few. However, these days, college degrees are expected, with many entry jobs requiring a bachelor's degree as well.
We will continue to see advancement here. It is not going away. In other words, the genie is out of the bottle, and you're just going to have to stomach the volatility, but it has huge upside. You're going to start to see, in this year, I'm speculating, that these large institutions are going to start demanding audits, carbon credit audits. And you don't want to be in a company stock that has the risk of a carbon audit, because the truth is it's almost virtually impossible to show and understand the tracking error of a carbon credit versus what you're actually burning in carbon. So all of the money is quietly moving right now to new mining companies, most of them private, that are going to use hydro, wind, solar, and nuclear power. Because if you use any of those options for mining, there is no carbon audit. There is no offset necessary. You're not burning carbon. The majority or many of the turbine-driven hydro facilities around the world in places like Norway or upstate Quebec or Manitoba or British Columbia or places in the Soviet, with Russia now, they have abundance of hydro that is not captured. And so I'll give you an example. One of my biggest investments right now is a facility being built in Norway, in a village with 3,000 people where they're partners. We are using new stacks, very efficient mining equipment. We're building it out now, and we are part of the community there. We have power at less than 2 cents a kilowatt hour. Our stacks are remote. However, we're using the heat that's generated there for hydroponics and fish rookeries. And the stakeholders of that mine are many of the villagers that live there. So a new generation of Bitcoin miner, an ESG compliant, non-carbon credit, institutionally backed, Those are the new miners, and they're going to trade at a premium, and all of the old dirty miners are going to have to consolidate because nobody's interested in giving them capital anymore. There's no way for them to be clean and not be subject to carbon audits. This is going to be controversial. This just emerged in the last 3 months. But we are quietly taking our capital out of those dirty miners into the new clean miners. And that's the new generation of Bitcoin miners for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years.
It's clear from Mr. Kevin O'Leary's explanation that our world has come a long way. Everything ranging from our college degrees to the way we make money has seen a drastic change. As he sees it, the crypto sector is expected to see one of the greatest growth within the next 5 to 10 years. This is because of the different use cases being built upon different layers of crypto. Take Ethereum, for example, which allows for smart contracts to be built out. Experts argue we could see crypto 2x by 2025 as a whole, with different banks, metaverse projects, and gaming projects beginning to back up crypto and use it as part of their payment methods. Crypto will only increase in adoption, and hence its price. Do you agree with Kevin O'Leary's opinion on a college degree and the future of crypto? Let us know in comments below. To learn more about the latest crypto news, watch these videos here.